Hello and welcome to Gradient's weekly roundup of key business and financial developments in Sri Lanka for the week ending 25th February 2022. Here are the main stories for this week. Fuel supply sufficient only for 6 days, power cuts extended. Poverty line reaches all-time high. Special GST needs two-thirds majority. Stock market trading halted 3 times. 73,000 tourists in the first 3 weeks of February. We will also briefly look at other notable news that made it across to our news desk and wrap up with the capital markets update. In our top story for this week, according to KD Olga, Secretary to the Ministry of Energy, fuel stocks at the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation are now available only for about 5 to 6 days, down from 15 to 21 days 6 months ago. Increasing demand for transport as well as for power generation with the breakdown of the Norochale coal power plant, forex shortages and shipments having to be paid prior to unloading are causing significant supply constraints. Olga noted that the daily requirement for diesel has increased from 6,000 to 9,000 metric tons a day. Further, the CEB is now using diesel to generate power instead of hydro as it did in the previous months, as well as consumers using more generators due to the ongoing power cuts in the country. Such issues lead to island-wide power cuts being extended to between 3 to 4 hours daily during the week. Moreover, payments for oil now are to be made on a ship-by-ship basis as opposed to earlier, where Sri Lanka was able to secure fuel stocks on credit for up to 1 year. Experts say that it is unlikely that the current scenario will improve in the near term. Thus, fuel and power challenges will cause a significant impact to the economy and the day-to-day lives of citizens. As per the Department of Census and Statistics, the minimum expenditure required per person each month to fulfill the basic needs reached an all-time high of 5,908 rupees at a national level in January 2022. Colombo district recorded the highest amount of 6,414 rupees, followed by Nuwara, Gampaha and Kalutara. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, food inflation has increased to 16.8% in January 2022 from 6.2% in December 2019. According to Mahinda Abeyewardena, Speaker of the Parliament, the Supreme Court had observed several clauses of the recently gazetted Special Goods and Service Tax Bill are inconsistent with the Constitution, thus requiring a two-thirds majority in Parliament to be enacted as law. Previously, the government has gazetted a special GST on companies in liquor, cigarettes, telecommunications, betting, gaming and automobile industries. Additionally, this bill would have empowered the Treasury to collect the proposed tax and not the country's main tax collector, the Inland Revenue Department. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange was halted 3 times during the week as investors sold off stocks on multiple challenges the country is facing. The all-share price index is now trading at around early the December 2021 level, having significantly fallen from its all-time high of 13.462 recorded on the 19th of January 2022. Market participants were reacting to power cuts, fuel shortage and forex crisis, which is eroding confidence. The initial sell-off was compounded by subsequent margin calls. Such losses come despite listed companies releasing record-high earnings results for the December quarter. Collectively, listed companies earned a combined 148.4 billion rupees during the October to December quarter 2021, higher than the previous record of 86.6 billion rupees during the July to September quarter in 2021. According to the Ministry of Tourism, 73,048 tourists arrived in the country during the first 3 weeks of February, increasing the cumulative figure for 2022 to over 155,000. Russia continued to be the main source market, followed by India, the UK, Ukraine and Germany. Moreover, according to CBSL, tourism earnings in January 2022 were $268.3 million, up from $5.5 million a year earlier. Meanwhile, according to the Tourism Ministry, an emergency fund is to be set up to help those in the industry during a crisis. This is to be established under the new Tourism Act that is currently being drafted and is to be in line with the proposed Social Security program for the tourism industry. In other news, inflation as measured by the National Consumer Price Index rose to 16.8% in January from 14% a month earlier. Year-on-year inflation of the food group increased to 24.4% from 21.5% in December, and prices of the non-food group increased to 10.2% from 7.6%. Food supply side issues are due to the chemical fertilizer ban now rescinded, higher global food prices, import restrictions, as well as the removal of maximum retail prices of many essential items, driving prices higher. In 2021, Sri Lanka's commercial banks provided 810.5 billion rupees of fresh credit to individuals and companies on the back of historically low interest rates. 61.3 billion rupees was granted in the month of December alone. The growth, amounting to 13.1% year-on-year, was in line with the central bank's original target of 12 to 14% and was more than double the credit of almost 400 billion rupees granted in 2020. However, such high credit growth contributed towards increasing consumer prices and the current foreign exchange crisis, as imports reached a record $20.1 billion during the year. This led to the central bank raising benchmark rates by 50 basis points each in August and January. In other market news this week, Damro Group is slated to receive tax concessions to build a $70 million luxury open hotel in Colombo 3, comprising 652 rooms. The cabinet approved tax concessions under the Strategic Development Projects Act of 2008. The group already operates Marino Beach Hotel for the shopping mall. Lanwa Sanstha Cement Corporation's cement manufacturing facility is expected to commence operations in early March this year. The factory spans 63 acres and is located in the Mirjwala Export Processing Zone in Hambantota. The total capacity is 4 million tons in phase 1. And that's a wrap for this week. Follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for more updates on news and developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.